is caught in a revolution beyond Rangoon, and Scott Bakula explores the boundary between life and death in Lord of Illusions.
Antonio Banderas is a mariachi on a mission of revenge in Desperado, one of 6 new movies we'll be reviewing this week on Siskel and Ebert. Also on this show, Michelle Pfeiffer in Dangerous Minds, a new Clive Barker thriller starring Scott Bakula, and the Tuskegee Airmen about the first black pilots in the U.S. Army Air Corps. I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune. Our first film is Desperado, and it's even a better personal success story than a movie, I think. The success of independent director Robert Rodriguez, who at age 23 first made this story 3 years ago as a wonderful, energetic, $7,000 feature. That's right, $7,000 feature called El Mariachi, which he wrote, photographed, edited, produced, and directed himself. It became a surprise hit, and Rodriguez got a budget of more than 500 times greater to do a high-gloss version of the same story with a big-name star.
I told you already. I'm a musician, and this is my guitar.
Don't touch it! Get him away from there.
That's the smoldering Antonio Banderas as a guitar-playing avenging angel, a mariachi out to destroy the Mexican drug dealer who killed his lady love. He's got an arsenal of weapons in his guitar case as he comes to town looking for the drug dealer in a bar tended by Cheech Marin. While in town, the mariachi runs across a beautiful woman played by newcomer Salma Hayek. She turns heads, and the fast-paced editing style of this and other scenes is a trademark of Robert Rodriguez films. The success of the mariachi against the drug dealer's goons riles the mobster, well played by Joaquim de Almeida.
I'll tell you, boss, whoever it was didn't come looking for the money.
No. Came looking for me.
Comic relief is provided by the mariachi's sidekick, played by independent film actor Steve Buscemi, best known for his work in Quentin Tarantino's films.
Just try and keep it from turning into a bloodbath, all right? Not like last time.
The one wasn't my fault.
Of course not.
Desperado is nothing if not colorful. The art direction is often spectacular. Director Rodriguez constantly tries to dazzle your eye with outrageous action scenes. My only problem, and it shouldn't stop anyone from seeing the picture, is that Rodriguez wears you out as the film becomes, I think, more style than substance. I hope in his next film he doesn't feel the need to cut away from his storyline so often. A little less furious editing would have made Desperado easier to enjoy. I liked it, but with reservations.
I'm basically in agreement with you, although I'm not recommending the movie. It seems to me that having showed that he could make a good cheap film, and now that he can make a good-looking film, he now needs to have a story, because he is so in love with technique that it really gets in the way of everything else. But you know, apart from Rodriguez, who's directing in this movie, and visual style I did enjoy, the thing that stood out for me was Antonio Banderas. He really, this is the role. I mean, he's been in a lot of movies.
Well, he's a centerpiece here.
Yeah, from Philadelphia to the Mambo Kings to so forth. Here, he shows how he could actually become one of the really top male stars in action pictures, because he has that combination of good looks, real presence, and a certain sense of humor, and it's really effective.
I almost wanted the love scenes to go on, not just to look at their beautiful bodies, which we normally would want in a love scene, but just to give us a little quiet in the film, because he is cutting everything fast. This guy needs to grow up a little bit, be a little more mature, and let some scenes play in one.
Less is more. Okay, next movie. And our next movie is Dangerous Minds, starring Michelle Pfeiffer as an ex-Marine whose hardest assignment is taking on a room full of tough kids in a Palo Alto high school. Since she can't get their attention any other way, she challenges them with a karate lesson.
I heard that a Marine can kill a man with his, bare hands. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Pfeiffer visits the homes of some of the students, but doesn't always get a very warm reception.
My boys don't go to your school no more, and that's gonna be it.
You took them out of school?
You damn right I did. I saw what they were bringing home. Poetry. They got more important things to worry about.
She has been teaching them poetry, a Bob Dylan song, and she tries to make parallels between Dylan's lyrics and their lives.
Man, you don't understand nothing. I mean, you don't come from where we live. You're not bused here.
Do you have a choice to get on that bus?
Man, you come and live in my neighborhood for 1 week, and then you tell me if you got a choice.
But there are a lot of people who live in your neighborhood who choose not to get on that bus. What do they choose to do? They choose to go out and sell drugs. They choose to go out and kill people. They choose to do a lot of other things, but they choose not to get on that bus. The people who choose to get on that bus, which are you, are the people who are saying, I will not carry myself down to die. When I go to my grave, my head will be high.
You might think Bob Dylan is an unlikely choice for turning on this particular classroom, and so do I. The movie is based on a real-life story, and in real life, the real teacher used rap songs to make a breakthrough. But the movie isn't as interested in reaching the kids as in reaching middle America, and so the material was toned down, I guess, to make it more palatable. It ends up just being unconvincing, I think. There are a lot of movies about tough classes and determined teachers, but Dangerous Minds is not one of the good ones.
Oh, it certainly isn't. And as soon as you said in telling the storyline about how she uses a karate lesson and she's a former Marine, I mean, you're, first of all, believing Michelle Pfeiffer, one of the world's most beautiful women, in this role, I mean, right at that point, you start to raise your eyebrows about the picture, but it's just a do-gooder film, and that isn't sufficient here. The kid, you always feel that everything is just Hollywood written. You never feel there's any sense of reality with the very real problems that would go on in a classroom.
Yeah, I even have problems with Lean on Me and Stand and Deliver, but those two pictures really blow this one completely off the screen.
Coming up next, we review the #1 box office hit in the country. Mortal Kombat, the video game turned movie, is next.
You can't run from me, son. I don't need to run.
Never before. Never again. One stage. Bruce Springsteen, Johnny Cash, Aretha Franklin, The Kinks, John Mellencamp, George Clinton, The Pretenders, Melissa Etheridge, Soulside, James Brown, a concert for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Coming soon. Live. One place. HBO.
In the world of credit cards, the traffic is getting pretty heavy, and it's easy to get confused by all the complicated new card offers and restrictions. But people who know where they're going use one card, Discover Card, with the Cashback Bonus Award, the Smart Rate Program, and no annual fee. For a positive impact on your finances, use the Discover Card. It pays to discover, the card that pays you back. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
You've spent your entire life sleeping in an old-fashioned flat bed, but now you have the opportunity to find out about a better, healthier way to relax and sleep. Get this free information kit about Craftmatic adjustable beds. Call toll-free, and a helpful operator will mail you a free Craftmatic adjustable bed catalog and this special rebate certificate. It's worth $200 off any Craftmatic Model 1 adjustable bed. Why is Craftmatic making this rebate offer? It's our way of saying thanks for taking the time to find out about Craftmatic. There is, of course, absolutely no obligation for calling toll-free and requesting this helpful information kit. So if you have any interest in adjustable beds, pick up your phone and call now.
Call toll-free 1-800-346-5200. That's 1-800-346-5200. Toll-free 1-800-346-5200.
That's one of the many martial arts sequences in Mortal Kombat, which takes the minor prize of being the best video game turned into a movie that I've seen. These are minor awards, but they're important, I'm sure, to the filmmakers. It's also the only halfway decent video game turned into a movie that I've seen. Here's the story. The fate of planet Earth hangs in the balance as a trio of warriors face off against an intergalactic demon and his henchmen. The bad guy can conquer Earth only if he beats this crew. All of this is explained to the mortal combatants by the Thunder God, played by Christopher Lambert in a fright wig. His voice has gotten a synthesizer treatment.
To enter the realm of Earth, the Emperor's demon sorcerer, Shang Tsung, and his warriors have to win 10 straight victories in Mortal Kombat. They have won 9. This will be the 10th tournament.
Kickboxing is the preferred fighting style, and here's a sample as the Asian good guy goes one-on-one with a goon. Eventually, the bad guy, Shang, takes the lovely Sonya hostage.
You're a coward, sorcerer. Stand and fight. We had a deal, remember? Mortal Kombat continues. I'm simply changing the place. As we agreed.
The special effects are often sensational, the locations are Asian exotic, and the cast of characters is clearly drawn with appealing types. Only the amount of fighting in the back half of the picture gets in the way, but I'm still giving thumbs up to Mortal Kombat. A lot of effort went into this production. I've never played the video game Mortal Kombat, but after seeing this movie, I'm actually tempted. A lot of fun.
You know, I can't really give a thumbs up, although I'm right in the middle on it. One thing.
Weren't you surprised by the quality?
You know, the one thing that bothered me was it was so dark. I wonder if the theater was trying to save money on electricity.
I saw it in the best theater screen in Chicago.
Oh, well, then I didn't see it in that theater, because I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it looked murky.
Well, that's the...
It just didn't
Then
look
blame the theater, don't punish the film.
Okay, well, I can only review the film I saw, but I'll tell you one thing that was funny as I was coming out. The kids who play this Mortal Kombat game, which you know has been very controversial because of its level of violence, were kind of disappointed that the killings in the movie weren't nearly as sensational as the ones in the game, where people have unbelievably horrible things happen to them.
I'm terribly sorry for those children.
You would have been amazed since you felt the movie was too violent.
The movie, I thought it was fun. You had a better time, admit it, you had a better time than you thought you were going to have in this picture.
Well, since I thought I was going to have a very bad time, that would be true almost no matter what I thought.
Okay. When we come back, Patricia Arquette is an American caught in Burmese political turmoil in Beyond Rangoon.
Cliff here, taking the team out for a great breakfast, right?
Right! Hi, may I take your order, please?
I'll have the Rudy Tooty fresh and fruity breakfast, please, with 2 fruit-top pancakes, 2 eggs, 2 bacon, and 2 sausage. You know, it took me a while to order the Rudy Tooty fresh and fruity breakfast without being embarrassed. And now they have a Rudy Tooty Jr. for kids. Right, fellas?
Right!
I'll give them some time.
Rudy Tooty breakfast, $3.99. Monday through Friday, $3.99 at IHOP now.
I'm here in this auto graveyard to demonstrate New Finish, the once-a-year car polish. Simply wipe it on and wipe it off. There's no rubbing, no buffing. Look how New Finish restored a deep, hard shine to even this weather-beaten old car. You see, New Finish is not a wax. It's a space-age polymer formula that shines better and lasts longer.
And here's proof. An independent laboratory tested New Finish against several leading brands of car polish. After simulating a full year of varying weather, New Finish had the highest gloss and actually retained 90% of its original shine.
Next, we polished this car with New Finish and ran it through 52 car washes. After all the harsh detergents and scrubbing, the water still beads. You'll find New Finish is great for fiberglass boats, too. So get New Finish, the once-a-year car polish. And between polishings, use New Finish car wash to clean your car.
New Finish Liquid rated #1 by leading consumer magazines. Available at Walgreens, Pep Boys, Publix, Discount Auto, Eckerd, Winn-Dixie, Rose Auto, and Kmart.
American? Are you American? Yes. American knows Aung San Suu Kyi? No, I don't. Very famous. She's very beautiful. She will lead us to democracy.
Patricia Arquette plays an American doctor there who in 1988 wanders out of her Burmese hotel room and into the middle of a political demonstration in Beyond Rangoon. This is basically an adventure movie with some politics worked in between the action scenes, but it does get us involved as she meets a local professor whose opinions got him fired. Now he works as a freelance tour guide.
Do you think you could take me somewhere? In the country, somewhere off the tourist track?
Yes, but at the moment, it would be wiser to remain within Rangoon.
Why?
There are military checkpoints going out of the city.
That's Oong Ko as her new friend. Soon they get caught up in a government campaign against political dissent. Her new associations put her in more danger than she realizes.
Come with me.
What?
Where is the man you were traveling with?
What man?
Beyond Rangoon uses a tried and true movie strategy of getting us interested in politics in a distant country by placing a movie star right in the middle of the action. But here it works because the director, John Boorman, has found a very sympathetic local character in the older professor there, and also because his action scenes in the jungle and along the river have a vitality of their own. He loves these rough, natural locations, and he also used them, for example, in The Emerald Forest and Deliverance. Yeah. At the end of the movie, I hadn't learned much about Burmese politics, except that they were shooting at people that we liked. But on a movie level, I was very entertained.
I was caught up into it, too, by surprise. I thought this was going to be a personal story as it started, because this woman is with her sister, recovering from the tragedy of having her husband and son murdered. And so you think it's going to be sort of women on their own, putting a life back together. And it is that. And that story goes on before she becomes involved in the political struggle. So there is a lot of time. It's not just a gimmick. Maybe that's the difference, is that you're following her. There's enough time given, you know, more than the first reel, to her personal tragedy, and the politics come in the side door.
And it turns out that this older man is just who she needs to kind of help her. She helps him, and he helps her. And also, he says, life needs you. And
Patricia Arquette, who sort of comes out of nowhere, really, to take the center stage in this film, I think does a very good job, and she can have a good career. Coming up next, a detective investigating the death of a world-famous illusionist has to do battle with a true wizard. Lord of Illusions is next.
Dear Hallmark, I work at a small company, about 60 people in all. There's a woman here, Helen. We call her the card lady. No one asks her to, but she personally picks out a Hallmark card for all of us to sign when someone has a birthday. She always gives a Hallmark that says something just to that part of the person she knows from work. I've always heard a company should have a heart, and around here, it's definitely Helen.
You can make a difference. Give a Hallmark card.
When you walk in, you know that you're going to get something different. People that are working there are also very helpful. Like a little kid in a candy store, they have a little bit of everything.
I've been shopping Pier 1 before shopping Pier 1 was cool.
They've changed. They're more contemporary.
I don't cook, but I do set a cute table, so I get all my dishes and napkins at Pier 1.
I like picture frames. They come in different colors, and I'm into that.
There's probably something for every room of my house.
If you want something to stand out, shop at Pier 1.
Pier 1's Basic Changes sale, now through September 1st.
Our next film is Lord of Illusions, and it's by novelist and horror film director Clive Barker, who specializes in films with outrageous violence and cutting-edge, twisted, and often, for me, gross-out special effects. And so it's a tribute to Lord of Illusions that even though I really seriously wanted to leave the theater after the first 10 minutes, I'm sort of glad I stayed around. Lord of Illusions is about the apparent death of a big-time magician and the efforts of a New York detective and the dead man's beautiful wife to capture the evil force behind what might have been a murder. Here's the illusionist, played well as a fey genius by Kevin J. O'Connor, talking with his wife, played by model-turned-actress Famke Janssen.
I'm putting in a new illusion tonight. Something special. I want you to be there, will you?
Of course.
After the magician has a spectacular accident on stage, a private eye, played by Scott Bakula, gets on the case and becomes romantically involved with the illusionist's wife. Why not? Lord of Illusions is full of effects like that. Many of them, however, are more gruesome than anything else, and they involve the film's bad guy, a creep named Nix, who ran a cult years ago, abused children. That's the part of the film that turned me off completely, and seemingly was killed, but has now risen from the grave. Thus, the 13-year-old mud facial.
You're not Swan. Who are you? Oh, I know what you want.
I can't fully recommend Lord of Illusions. Early scenes and a few later ones are sickening, but I do want to acknowledge some decent acting and a real effort by director Clive Barker to offer sights and effects that push the edges of the envelope. A mixed review from me on Lord of Illusions. Of the Clive Barker films that I've seen, I like this one the best.
Yeah, well, that's kind of mixed praise, but I liked it. I liked it, and I would recommend it. And one of the things that surprised me was Scott Bakula. You know, there's a tendency to kind of condescend to television actors for some reason. After all, they're doing a job, too. And in this movie, he does a real good job of holding the center of this basically very violent and goofy plot together. And what I liked the very best was the middle, the stuff about magic, where
I agree.
The guy who's kind of like David Copperfield and has this big stage show, but it turns out that maybe he's using real magic, and then Bakula has to go into the Magic Castle, that hotel
I like that too.
in L.A., and they have the secret room with all the magic secrets in it, and he meets the other magicians, and he has this relationship with the magician's wife and with the magician's creepy assistant. All of that really started cooking there.
Exactly. Framed.
Yeah, good stuff.
Framed by
too many special effects. Yes. Right.
And that's the reason. So we see the same film, but mixed review.
Okay, when we come back, Lawrence Fishburne stars as one of the first black pilots for the American Armed Forces. We'll review the Tuskegee Airmen next.
You make sure they get what's best for them during the day, but are you taking the same care at night? Introducing Sealy's most advanced Posturepedic ever for the support they need. Now, the only foundation made from steel beams, not wood, is redesigned to be even stronger. Now, Sealy has a more sensitive sense and respond coil system, and its patented sensory arm senses and cushions your movement, then responds to your weight with increasing support. Correct support. Posturepedic support, only from Sealy.
Never before, never again. One stage, Bruce Springsteen, Johnny Cash, Aretha Franklin, The Kinks, John Mellencamp, George Clinton, The Pretender, Melissa Etheridge, Soulside, James Brown, a concert for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Coming soon. Live. One place. HBO.
You've spent your entire life sleeping in an old-fashioned flat bed, but now you have the opportunity to find out about a better, healthier way to relax and sleep. Get this free information kit about Craftmatic adjustable beds. Call toll-free, and a helpful operator will mail you a free Craftmatic adjustable bed catalog and this special rebate certificate. It's worth $200 off any Craftmatic Model 1 adjustable bed. Why is Craftmatic making this rebate offer? It's our way of saying thanks for taking the time to find out about Craftmatic. There is, of course, absolutely no obligation for calling toll-free and requesting this helpful information kit. So if you have any interest in adjustable beds, pick up your phone and call now.
Call toll-free 1-800-346-5200. That's 1-800-346-5200. Toll-free 1-800-346-5200.
The Century Plaza, offering the finest in luxury service in Southern California style, adjacent to Beverly Hills on LA's fashionable West Side. The Century Plaza Hotel and Tower, a Westin hotel.
Beginning this weekend, HBO presents the story of the Tuskegee Airmen, one of the most distinguished flying squadrons in World War II that was also one of the least known. It was the Fighting 99th, made up of African Americans who trained at an Army Air Corps base in Tuskegee, Alabama. They had to overcome a lot of prejudice even to get into a training program, as one of their white commanding officers makes clear early in the film.
Why'd you join the Air Corps, boy?
This country has enemies, sir, and there are people who need protecting from those enemies.
What people, nigga?
All people, sir. To my knowledge, the Germans aren't sparing the coloreds.
To my knowledge, the colored aren't up to fighting the Germans, let alone beating them.
Training is tough, and one of the hardest moments comes as a young airman is thrown out of the program for doing unauthorized stunts. He's a good flyer, but he doesn't get a second chance.
I don't understand. I wish there was something I could do.
In combat over Italy, the pilots do a brilliant job of escorting American bombers.
We die by fire!
For Lawrence Fishburne and the others, vindication comes when white pilots start to request their services.
Since they've been escorting bombers, they haven't lost one to enemy action, sir. Not a single ship. And if it's all the same to you, I want the 332nd to take me to Berlin and back.
The story of the Tuskegee Airmen has been kicking around Hollywood for a long time, and I'm glad it's finally been made. As cinema, it's not a great film because it doesn't take chances. It tells the story right down the middle in a very conventional, made-for-TV style. This is the sort of thing that too many cable movies, I think, do. They do it well, but in a way, maybe it's an advantage that they don't have to throw in a lot of phony action to sell tickets. I'm glad I saw the Tuskegee Airmen. It's going to air for the next 3 weeks on HBO. And I do recommend it.
I had the same reaction, which is that it's a great story, and I just wish it had a little more edge to it, because clearly these men were on point with their lives. Indeed, the most dramatic elements in the story, and even here in the film, are the abuse that they had to take before they could fly. It's almost like actual flying was a release for them to get away from another enemy, the white America, that was punishing them. That's the edge that I wanted a little bit more of. I wanted to feel that a little tougher, and if it had been made as a feature, it would have been made tougher.
There were some really pointed moments in it, though. For example, as the train taking them to training gets into the South, they have to go into the segregated car on the train to give up their seats
for German
prisoners of war.
Yeah, that's a stunning thing.
A heck of a moment. Now let's take another look at the movies we reviewed this week. A split vote for Desperado, which I felt, despite its great visual style, was too thin in the story department. Gene thought that its stylistic excess shouldn't keep anyone from seeing it. 2 thumbs down for Dangerous Minds with Michelle Pfeiffer in the classroom. It told a formula story and didn't really convince us of its reality. We split on Mortal Kombat, which I thought did a good job of creating the look and feel of a video game and needed something more than just that. Gene thought a lot of effort went into the production, and he was intrigued. 2 thumbs up for Beyond Rangoon with Patricia Arquette in Danger in Burma. It's an evolving drama with good action sequences. A split decision on Lord of Illusions. I thought it had energy and style. Gene liked it too, but thought some of its scenes were just too sickening to recommend. And 2 thumbs up for the Tuskegee Airmen, the story of black pilots in World War II. We both recommend it, although it could have been a little tougher. So Beyond Rangoon is kind of the pick of the week, right?
Yes, it is. That's it for this week. Next week, we'll be back with a special show, our all-time favorite scenes. We're going to pick favorite scenes in different genres, including comedy, musicals, and romance. Do our choices match your own? Favorite scenes next week. And until then, the balcony is closed.
Connect's creative construction sets for kids from 5 to 105. Affordable, color-coded building fun. If you can imagine it, you can build it with Connect's. Introducing the secret to roasted in taste. New Lipton recipe secrets for potatoes available in the breadcrumb coating section. Belchon Invisa, the hidden hearing aid. As small as a soft contact lens and when worn, just as invisible. To learn more, call this number now. Bright Beginnings videos for your preschooler feature Spot, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, and Parachute Express from Walt Disney Home Video.